Hi, this is Ken Jeong, and you're watching Comedy Matters.
Hello, this is Andy Norman. You don't know who the hell I am, and you probably don't care, but if I told you I was the president of Just for Laughs, you say, oh, that's cool. That's that festival. That's, I guess, that little Jewish guy. Okay, but that's who I am. So now you know why it means something when I say you're watching Comedy Matters.
Hey, I'm Nick Thune, and you're watching Comedy Matters, because it does.
This is John Mulaney. You're watching Comedy Matters with the man, with the doctor, Jeff Gurian. Don't go changing.
So I just got off the elevator. I'm running into people like crazy here, and I see what looks like Bo Burnham to me, and it is Bo Burnham. A disheveled version of Bo Burnham, but I would know him anywhere. The first time in Montreal?
No, third time. I was here, I did the festival last year, and then when I did the festival in 2008, it was like the first thing I ever had really done.
Was that when your viral video broke first?
That was before, yeah, well that was the first, I guess that's when all I had was that stuff, and this was like one of my first live performances, was at the music show in 2008. It's the same music show I'm doing tonight.
This is the Just for Laughs Festival, which is the biggest comedy festival in the world. Kenny Hotz, by the way, if I'm correct, is the only Canadian to ever have two shows on American TV, two at the same time. Yeah. And what were the names of the shows? Penny versus Spenny. I'll help you.
Spenny and Testes. Yeah.
Testes.
Schindler's Fist and Diddler on the Roof. No, look, it's nice to see you, Jeffrey. You look very good.
Thank you. I feel good.
It has the
guy who just got off the plane.
Has the new heart. Is that working out?
The new heart.
Yeah.
The new lungs, the new back. It's all. Every new part is working fine.
It's nice here in Montreal. I want to tell people, like, see the French, like when I'm Canadian, the French are basically our Palestinians. They totally want to separate from Canada. They're just such a headache. We want the French, to separate. It would be a much shorter drive to Newfoundland.
I'm here at the variety party, and I shouldn't be surprised.
You shouldn't
but
be.
I shouldn't be surprised at all. But Amy Schumer just won as one of the top 10 comics to watch.
Yes.
I've been watching you for years, baby.
You have, and can you please leave me alone?
I've been stalking her.
Yes, you have been. No, I know, it's so cool. I don't know how I'm going to celebrate.
Well, I think with that glass of wine that you have right now, and with Anthony Jeselnik.
Yes, I'm here. I'm in the house. 10 Comics to Watch alumni. So I'm just here.
Well, you were last year? Were you one of the 10 comics, or the year before?
Maybe 3 years ago. I've been one to watch for so long. It's hard to remember. But now I'm still in the top 25. They said, but not the top 10 anymore.
Yeah.
Replaced by Amy Schumer.
I had to bump him down.
Yeah.
Look at that.
A woman. I'm a woman now.
No, but I know. But
okay? I have matured.
I don't think of Amy as a girl. I think of her as the girl.
Listen to this guy. He knows.
Yeah.
The most amazing woman, right? I'm here at the variety party, and I run into John Davies, who's got a film called Funny Business. Is that correct?
Yes, Funny Business. And it's a black comedy.
A black comedy. How'd you come up with the title, P-H-U-N-N-Y?
Well, when we tried to register F-U-N-N-Y, there were so many other people that had that title. So I said to Ray, well, it is a black movie. Maybe we should call it P-H-U-N-N-Y. And he fought me a little bit, but then agreed it was the right title.
Oh, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Tell us about Ray, because you mentioned Ray. Who is Ray?
So, Raymond really was like the Bud Friedman of Chicago. And interestingly enough, when you see our movie, he traveled to L.A. when he was an investment banker in 1990, wandered into the Improv, said, hey, running a comedy club looks like a fun job. And he modeled his whole club after Bud, and Bud is in our movie.
And Bud is here, as a matter of fact.
Came to the screening of our movie a few months ago in L.A. and was stunned. And Ray and he had never met, and Bud's been a big supporter ever since.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, Bud is an icon. He opened in New York in 1963 was the club. And the reason I know that is because I'm doing a documentary on the comic strip, the club that's been open for 35 years, where Seinfeld started, and Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock.
Online and seen your trailer.
Oh, so really? Oh,
yeah,
okay, cool.
yeah.
So you're aware.
So go online and see ours at www.funnybusinessmovie.com. But remember, funny spelled with a PH.
So this variety party is amazing because everyone in the world in comedy is here. I'm here with Steve Skrovan, and who has a film here at the festival. Tell us a little bit about your film.
It's called Fred and Vinnie. I directed it and produced it. It was written by Fred Stoller, who you'd recognize from every TV show from the last 20 years.
The last 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. He's been on them all. And it's actually based on a true story about Fred's relationship with another comic who is sort of a middle-act MC guy in Philadelphia named Vinnie D'Angelo. And it's the story of their what was first started as a long-distance relationship. Well, Fred was in L.A., a phone relationship, and Vinnie was still in Philadelphia. And they had kind of this symbiotic relationship where Vinnie was an agoraphobic, never left his house, and Fred would tell him some mundane story about his life in L.A., and to Vinnie that was a great adventure because he never left. And so they had this relationship where Fred was sort of the...
But what brought them together in the first place? How did they meet?
They met doing stand-up. You know, Fred and I...
An agoraphobic who does stand-up?
Exactly, and actually we deal with that in the movie, is how could that be?
He works from his house.
Well, yes. Well, Fred in one of the scenes is in therapy, and this therapist can't understand, you're an actor, how could you be shy? And Fred's got to explain, it's different than, you know, being personally rejected, it's something you have control of, right. and so we kind of deal with that seeming contradiction.
Now. So best night ever. Best night ever. Good name. It's a good name. Did you choose that?
I did not choose that. I mean, it's a pretty decent night.
No, it is. It's a great night.
In LA, this show would be called Saturday Night at the Laugh Factory. But in Montreal,
it kills.
Best night ever.
Right. And you told me to come to the 10 o'clock show because the energy was good, but the energy was great at the 7 p.m. show.
The energy was decent. You could see how it fell off a couple of times.
Well, I think all shows, look, it's long. There was a lot of people on your show.
It wasn't actually that. It's not supposed to be that long, but I went long because I was trying to build back energy in the room, which is a good and a bad thing. Good that, you know, it's good for the comics and bad that we had to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that wheelchair thing was amazing because I really believed it. Russell had a kid come out in a wheelchair that it was his wish to meet Russell Peters. And then he asked his mom to stand up in the crowd, and his mom was like smoking hot.
That is correct.
Which is amazing.
She was so hot. It was crazy.
So incredibly hot.
Yeah.
It made my back hurt. That's how hot she was.
It made my front sore. Right. My mom told me that if I looked at women like that, I would turn to stone, and I felt something getting hard right away. So.
Now, where is that girl? I wanted to take some pictures of her.
I would love to take some pictures of her. I have no clue where she is, but I would
have a three-way shot. Yes.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Little rotisserie. Too soon?
Absolutely, too soon. Yes. So you're doing another show in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. So this is exclusive footage with Russell Peters backstage at the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal. You were actually one of the founders of the festival, weren't you?
Well, you know, it's sort of a story I concocted to give myself more prestige in this industry. But the real truth, I mean, if I may, Gilbert Rozon started this thing. Mm-hmm. Started in French, was looking to bring it on in English, and looking for somebody who could help him. And I was that guy for a number of reasons.
Your English was perfect?
I could speak a bit of French. I had some experience in the States. I was touring Howie Mandel at the time. He was looking for someone with TV experience, and I was on Howie's HBO special. I mean, it just happened that they filmed it while we were on tour, so suddenly I had TV experience.
But what were you doing with Howie? You said you were touring him.
Yeah. I was,
in what capacity?
Well, at the time, I was Howie's American promoter, and the North American promoter, and did all his shows from Carnegie Hall to Universal Amphitheater and everything in between.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Those were strange days on the road with Howie. Had a lot of fun every weekend because
he had hair in those days.
Yes, and he was also on St. Elsewhere, so we could only go out on the weekends. So we would go at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and go back home. We'd be back at work on Monday.
Now, you're a Canadian guy, though, originally. So how did you hook up with Howie Mandel?
He's a Canadian. He's a Jew. You know, we have, of course, he's from Toronto. I mean, we have ways of going ahead and using the, yeah, exactly. It's sort of like, you know, those little magnetic dogs that, you know, do that. That was.
So I'm here at the Montreal Just for Laughs Festival with Ken Jeong, who everybody loves, who used to be a doctor. Ken, well, first, you won today for Breakout Comedy Star of the Year. How's that feel, man?
It's very surreal. I feel so honored. I can't. You know, I'm just so thankful to the Just for Laughs festival. It's something that means a great deal to me.
Your gratitude is obvious. It comes across.
Thank you.
There's very few people who cross the boundary being a doctor and in comedy. When did you find out that you were funny?
Yeah, I don't know if I am that funny. I think it's something that I really loved comedy as a kid, and I loved performing, and I always it was always a secret dream of mine, even when I was a doctor, to be a comedic actor and to do comedy. So, you know, I don't think I ever thought I was funny per se, but I just wanted to hang out with funny people. Yeah.
Father of comedy clubs in the country, opened the Improv in 1963, right? And is here. Are you here to support, or are you?
I'm here actually to promote our newest venture. It is. I gave you one card already.
Oh, yes.
It's the Improv app and website, and it's going to be the largest platform for comedy, all kinds of comedy, ever created.
Great.
So tune in. Stay tuned.
I'm here with Garry Shandling, who just won the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Just for Laughs Festival. Congratulations on an amazing
Congratulations to you on this great interview so far. I think it's fantastic.
It's hysterical, isn't it?
I think it's sort of it's as funny as I was on stage tonight. I'll say that. I was surprised because I thought I was going on after Louis C.K. It's a good thing I have a lot of experience in life going on after another guy. And comedy or not.
Can I ask you, how did you first meet Alan Zweibel? Because I know he and you created the Garry Shandling Show.
Oh, I met Alan. Right, I was doing a special for Showtime, and I put it together, and I thought something was missing, and I asked around for who could help me out, and somebody recommended Alan, and we hit it off right away. And then the series came a couple years later. We wrote that series at the in the Parker Meridian in New York, in a hotel room in about 2 weeks.
I'm always interested to know how people got their start. Like, what was their lucky break? Can you think of something that happened in your early career that you didn't expect to happen?
First of all, when I was 19, I gave some material. I handed material to George Carlin, who at the time was working clubs everywhere, and I went into Phoenix, and I said, Mr. Carlin, would you read this material and tell me what you think? And he read it all. And he sat down with me and he said, oh, this is really funny, and if you're thinking of pursuing this, you should. So that's basically how I got started.
That's great. I had a similar experience with Woody Allen, and that's how I got started. And Alan Zweibel gave me my first break. So I wanted to say hello to you and congratulate you, and thank you so much for being on with me.
Sure,
I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Be well.
See you.
And so first of all, congratulations on winning Comedy Writer of the Year.
Thank you, along with Christopher Lloyd, but thank you very much.
But you were the one who showed up. He's not here, right?
Chris does not love the spotlight and does not love flying. So there was very little chance that he was going to be here.
Yeah, there's no way actually to. Well, you could drive, but that's like a pain in the neck.
It's a long way.
So, did you create Modern Family, or are you the writer of it and creator?
Co-creator, yeah.
How'd you come up with the idea?
It's loosely. Some of it is loosely based on our own families, and we just wanted to do a modern take on a family show.
So, who in your family is married to such a hot girl? Like Sofia Vergara.
Well, that's the part that we made up. But Jay is a lot like Chris, I think, and I got a lot of Phil in me. So we bring our own families to this.
Have you been to Montreal before, or is it your first time at the festival?
This is my first time here, first time at the festival, first time at any comedy festival. And it's really interesting, and I'm having a great time.
Well, you chose the biggest one to come to. You're honored at the biggest comedy festival in the world, 29 years, so it's wonderful.
I'm happy they did the choosing, so it's nice.
You killed it on Russell's show the other night.
I appreciate that, thank you. It was a fun show, like 3,000 people in the audience. I'm not used to that. I'm used to about 10. So I had to adjust to about 2,090 more people, 900 more people, yeah.
I'll tell you, I was at Russell's house recently in LA, and we were talking about Montreal, and he's like, I handpicked the comics that I wanted. He goes, I love Dom Herrera, and then he mentioned Jeremy Hotz. Who else was on the show with you?
Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr, right? Yeah. Sebastian Maniscalco, who I had met on the Candy Cruise. You ever hear of the Candy Cruise?
No.
500 guys and 1,500 girls, all from Maxim, Penthouse, Playboy. It was crazy.
That sounds like good odds.
Yeah, it was,
you know how he asked me to do the festival? He basically saw me at the mall and walked up to me and said, hey, do you want to do my show in Montreal? And I thought, oh, he's talking about some small show. Yeah, I'll do it.
Which mall?
The Grove in LA.
Oh, so you're based in L.A.?
Yeah, I'm from Seattle. I live in L.A. But another Russell story, though. One of the first times I ever saw him outside of a comedy club, I was with my wife. She was jean shopping in a store, and we run into Russell. She's trying jeans on. He says hi. He leaves. And my wife says, I want to buy these jeans. So I take them up to the counter, and the lady behind the counter just hands me a bag and says, the gentleman that just left already bought them for you.
That's a Russell story. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a perfect Russell story.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to him since.
He's here in the lobby of the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Montreal with a favorite comedian of mine, John Mulaney from Saturday Night Live. Is it okay that I say that you're from Saturday Night Live?
Oh, of course. I'm definitely from there. I am on loan from Saturday Night Live for this summer. I'm absolutely owned by them and here for like the time that they allot for us. And when we go back in August, I will have to be back. So yeah, absolutely.
Have you been on camera on the show, or are you writing material?
I've been writing there for 3 seasons. I've done some things on Weekend Update where I come on and do like editorials, which are basically just excuses for me to get my name out and do jokes, and but those have been really fun. Writing there is already great, but I like popping on and cramming my face into the camera.
I just ran into an old friend, Todd Lynn, who's a great comic. I haven't seen him in a while, but I've been a fan for a long time. We're old friends from New York City. Good to see you.
You too, man. How you been, Jeff?
I've been wonderful. I've been really, really great. Up here getting a lot of videos from a lot of cool people. And I'm so glad the timing was right that I happened to run into you. My timing works.
Yes, timing is everything in this business. And yours is immaculate right now.
Especially in comedy. So I haven't heard your new act, but I hear that you're doing a lot of new stuff, that you're talking about personal things in your act.
Yeah, it's gotten real personal because I had a health crisis. I actually had cancer, and I'm in remission, so I'm basically discussing that, trying to make it kind of comfortable. It's kind of painful, but trying to, that's what comedy is. We take the tragedy and, and flip it, so.
That's what they say. Comedy comes from pain. Unfortunately, you had to have that much.
I hated to have that much, but it's really all I have left now. I was a good opinion guy, a very good, insight comedic guy. I never really delved into being autobiographical, but after experiencing this, I said, well, this is really the only way I can go if I really want to stay true to being a good stand-up comic and trying to emulate the people that I really respected, like the Pryors and people like that, to actually take your real life experiences and try to, paint that picture for everybody in a comedic manner.
How'd you get into comedy?
Honey, I was in the Appalachian Mountains. I was selling jewelry at night in women's living rooms to make extra money when I had my first baby, and women thought I was funny. And I started booking so far in advance that the company noticed, and I started speaking for them. And then people said, you need to be a stand-up comedian, which I always wanted to be.
Really? You always had that dream?
Yeah. Since I was 5. And I've always loved stand-up comedy. And so one thing led to another. And believe it or not, I've carved out a comedy career out of the Appalachians.
That is amazing. What are the...
This is John Davies, and you're watching Comedy Matters.
Hey, this is Bo Burnham, and you're watching Comedy Matters. It's a laughing matter. There we go.
Hi, this is Kenny Hotz, Canada's George Clooney, and you're watching Comedy Matters.